You know, the greed of some people truly amazes me. Jacob Rees-Mogg, for example, the reason why he is so for Brexit is so that he can avoid paying his fair share of tax. Despite the fact that he's a multi-millionaire and doesn't actually pay tax now in general, he doesn't want to pay it at all. So, get us out of the EU. Of course, his financial investments are still in EU territory, so he can still make the money that he is withholding from our schools, from our children, from our NHS. But this is a special level of dickhead. The politicians who profited from a £42 million second home property bonanza. Now, if you're an MP, your base salary is just shy of about £80,000 a year. Plus, you get expenses. You get travel expenses. You get a food allowance when you have to go to Parliament. That food allowance is £70 a day. That's more than we spend on children in schools. But hey, that's what politicians get, right? They also get second homes, sometimes third homes. Sometimes they go that one step further just to screw over and piss in the face of every taxpayer in this fucking country. So here we have a ton of members of parliament who have exploited their second home either by renting it out and making a profit on it, a personal profit on something that's been publicly paid for, or who have just outright sold it. This is reported in by the Mirror. I'm going to link it down below. MPs have raked in more than £42 million from a second home property bonanza, an exclusive Mirror investigation has revealed. Politicians reclaimed thousands of pounds in mortgages, interest payments for the properties at public expense under a discredited old system. It was intended to allow MPs from all over the country to have a home near the Commons where they can sit late into the night. But there was nothing stopping them keeping the profits if they sold up. After the expenses scandal, the system was overhauled. Taxpayers no longer footed the bill for the mortgages of MPs, who now can claim up to £22,760 in rent for a second home. Jesus fucking Christ. But MPs have already bought their... But MPs who have already bought theirs were allowed to keep them, plus any profits from the sale. So, first on the list, Michael Gove, the man who's meant to be protecting the environment in the UK and promoting green businesses despite the fact that fracking has started under his watch. Made a tidy little sum. The Environmental Secretary made an 870,000 gross profit selling two homes. Michael Gove was not a poor man to begin with. But we paid for two homes. And he's now made that amount of money. Second one, Sir Graham Brady, chair of the powerful 1922 committee of backbench Tories, made nearly 1.1 million. Again, in the article listed, it goes into further details. Maria Miller, former Culture Secretary Maria Miller, made 1.23 million in profit from selling her southern London home. Jesus fucking Christ. David Tredennick, 2.85 million. Jesus Christ. We have Kitty Usher, former Labour Minister Kitty Ussher made a gross profit of £712,000 on her second home. Jesus Christ. Hugh Bailey, 1 million. John Hutton, 870 million. Mike Jack, 1.5 million. I mean, it goes on. But the level of greed from these people. Bear in mind, they didn't pay for these homes. They didn't pay for them at all. They were there because at some point it was a necessity for them to do their jobs. Now it's not a necessity. Now they can very easily afford a flat. They can share a flat. They could buy a big house and separate it all as studio flats, rented rooms. But no, they were given these houses on taxpayers' money and they've sold them all off for a profit. While a great number of these people are voting against any kind of help the government would and should give to homeless people. And that's the big irony. Most of these members of parliament are voting against helping the homeless, are voting against helping struggling families, while they're making a profit on things that we bought them to do their fucking job. It is absolutely disgusting.